Locomotion is boon to animals, and you have seen the plants are also moving, animals are also moving. But there is a difference in the movement of plants and animals. Plant only move their body parts, but the animals, they can change their place. They at present they are at this place, and a second moment they move to any other place. That movement is called as the locomotion. Now it will be a wonder to imagine how all this is possible, that we are able to change our place. This is possible because of a very important tissue present in our body, and that is called as the muscular tissue.
This tissue we are unable to find in the case of the plants, and this is the reason locomotion is not possible in the case of the plants, and they are stand still. As this is a tissue is made up of cell, and the cells which make it is called as fiber.
Fibers. These fibers, they occur in the bundles. These cells, they have special characteristic. Number one, they all are elongated. Number two, they show the property of contraction and relaxation. Number three property, it is that they are able to respond to the stimuli. Due to this property of contraction and relaxation, that they are responsible to cause movement, and it is possible due to the presence of a special type of protein called as the contractile protein. This protein, it occurs
Protein is responsible for the contraction and relaxation of the muscles, hence of our body parts. So the names we will discuss later on. See the properties just I told you earlier: contraction, excitability, extensibility and elasticity. These are the certain facts which are related to the muscles. You read it carefully, and now I will be telling about these.
So
If we say about the movement, it means the muscles.
You will wonder to know that there are around 650 muscles in the body. 40% of our body weight is of muscles, and the parts which are there outside or inside, they all are made up of muscles. Depending upon the structure and function, the muscles are divided into three categories. Number one, skeletal muscle. Number two, cardiac muscle. And number three is smooth muscle. The reason behind these names is their skeleton, because it is attached to bones or skeleton. That is why skeletal muscle. The prime function of the muscle is movement. So skeletal muscle is responsible for the movement of bones or skeleton. Other than that, it provides shape to the body. Number two, cardiac. It is, as the name is telling, it is related to heart. The muscles of heart is called as cardiac muscle. Number three is called as smooth muscle. The name smooth is because of the structure it has. The structure of the smooth muscle is without any lines in between them, and that is why we call it as smooth. Later on we will discuss in detail what those lines are. So three types of muscles are there: skeleton, cardiac and smooth, depending upon the structure and function.
So here in this diagram you see how the three muscles look like: skeletal, cardiac as well as the smooth muscle. First of all, we will discuss about the skeletal muscle.
It is also called as voluntary muscle. It is also called as striated muscle. The reason wish I want to move my hand or not. If you say move, I will not move. If you say don't move, I will move. It's my wish to move it or not to move it. So as it is working according to my wish, so we will call it as voluntary. Why it is called as striated muscle? It is depending upon its structure. If we look at the diagram of this muscle, it is like this. It is cylindrical in the shape, presence of the striations in between, these striations give it the name as striated muscles. Somewhere so many striations and somewhere very little striations. Due to the presence of these striations, they called as striated, and these are called as the bands. Dark band, where very congested these striations are there, and this area is called as the light band. Because it is a cell, it has nucleus. The nucleus in this cell is not one, they are many. So we call it as multinucleate. Also you can see this nucleus is not in the center, it is on one side. So nucleus at periphery. The cytoplasm of the muscle cell is called as sarcoplasm. It's an additional knowledge, it is not actually required in this class. And the membrane outside is called as sarcolemma. So first structure is multinucleate, nucleus is at periphery, cylindrical in the shape, and presence of dark and light band, or you can call it as striations, are present in this. Now the location, it is located, as the name is suggesting, along the bones or skeleton. So it is present in the skeletal area, and it is responsible for the movement of these skeleton or the muscles.
Now to sum up all these characteristics of the skeletal muscle, go through this slide and read all the characteristics. And now this is the diagram of the skeletal muscle. See the dark band, light band, as well as nucleus which is present over there.
Next is smooth muscle, or it is also called as the involuntary muscle. Smooth muscle, as I told you earlier also, the name is according to the structure it has. It is also called as involuntary muscle because this muscle is not working according to wish or our will. It means it is present along with those body parts or the organs which are not working according to our wish. Those are internal organs of the body, especially those organs which are hollow. For example, this muscle is present in the stomach area. It is present in the esophagus area. It is present in the lungs. It is present along with the arteries or veins. It means those which are the hollow structures, we are able to find this muscle over there, and these are present in the internal organs of our body that is not working according to wish, or we can call it as a involuntary muscle. It means it is being controlled by our autonomous nervous system. Next is, it is also called as the smooth muscle. Again, there is a reason behind this for calling this as a smooth muscle. The reason is that because of the structure it has. If we draw the structure of this very muscle, the shape is like this. This shape is called as the spindle shape. Spindle means which is pointed from both the ends. There is no bands as was present in the skeletal muscle. No such band or striations are there. Internal surface is smooth. That is why it is called as the smooth muscle. It is a cell. It means it has a nucleus also, but there is only a single nucleus. Unlike in the skeletal muscle, that were multinucleate. It is uninucleate. There the nucleus were present in periphery. Here the nucleus is present in the center. So spindle shape. Second is uninucleate, and this nucleus is centrally placed. And no striations are present in this case. Of course, myofibrils are there which help it to contract or relax. If we see, we have already done their location. It is present in the internal organs of our body, especially those which are hollow. There is only one common function of the muscle, that is the movement. So wherever it is present, it helps in the movement of those body parts. This is regarding the smooth. One important property of the smooth muscle, they contract, but contract very slow and remain contracted for a very long period of time. And this property is helping to push the substance in the forward direction. That is about the smooth muscle.
And now read these characteristics which are written over here and draw the diagram in your notebook with proper labeling as shown over here. Also, it is important to tell you that the smooth muscle is also known as the visceral muscle. The reason behind that, it is present in the internal or visceral organs of our body, which are present inside the body. And note down these characteristics over here in your notebook, which is mentioned over here, and I told you earlier also. Next one is the cardiac muscle.
As the name suggests, cardiac, it means it is a muscle related to heart. This muscle, like that of the skeletal muscle, is cylindrical in the shape, but unlike that, it is branch, and these branches make the other cell of the muscle connected with each other. This branching help one muscle cell to be connected with the another one. Again, this is along with cylindrical, it is uninucleate. Nucleus is present in the center of this very muscle. There is a presence of one important characteristic, that is the intercalated disc. Again, what is the purpose of this intercalated disc which is present over here? This intercalated disc spread the nerve impulse for the contraction of this heart muscle throughout the heart uniformly. The same impulse will be traveling throughout the heart. This is the purpose of intercalated disc. And this branching is also helping the spreading of this wave of contraction similarly uniformly from first to the last. And this muscle, therefore being located in the heart, is responsible for rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. It never get fatigued, never get tired throughout the life. Same was with the smooth muscle, it was not tired. Smooth muscle also do not get tired, and in the same manner cardiac muscle also do not get tired. Next thing is that there is like that of the skeletal muscle, there is the presence of striations. But what is the difference? These striations, that is the dark and the light band, they are less as compared to skeleton, or you can say faint striations are present in the case of the cardiac muscle. So if a question comes to you that name the muscle which never get fatigued, you will be writing the cardiac muscle. If the question comes to you what is the function of this, it causes the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the muscles of heart. And where it is located? It is located in the outer wall of the heart. Purpose of that, being a muscle, one function movement, and that movement is related to heart, it means it helps the pumping of the heart. And due to this pumping, the blood is circulated.
Now see the diagrams carefully and draw it in your notebook and do the labeling also. Also write these characteristics which are written on this slide, and I told you also the two of them in your notebook. And this diagram, it is showing the interconnection between the different type of the different muscles of cardiac, that is showing the branching. Now this is telling about the differences between the three type of the muscle which I had just told you in between my lecture, and you note it down in your notebook also.